My experience living in Houston was not a very good experience. I moved there last year in June of 2024 when I was trying to get my place. When they were basically running my background check and everything as far as me getting it. The property manager, was actually telling me that I had a record, which was a lie. He also told me that I stayed in some apartments that I did not stay in, which was a lie. And pretty much those were red flags from the beginning. And at that point, I should have just left and went home. But I was like, I want to try something new. I lived in Phoenix my whole life, so I was like, I want to try something new. And so I stayed. I ended up getting fired from the job that I had, which I transferred to Houston from Phoenix. Um, I did end up getting two other jobs, but the pay it just didn't make sense at that point. So then after that, when it was almost time for me to leave, I put in my notice in April. My lease wasn't up until June, and I put my notice in. And then at that point, they told me when it was time for me to leave, they acted like they didn't know where it was. I had all my receipts saved, all my emails, because I was already previously pretty hip to what they were doing at first. So I saved all my receipts, and then I had to end up getting a lawyer for me to even leave. So like I said, I would not recommend moving to Houston unless you're from the South. Maybe they're kind of used to that dynamic of people being unprofessional and unorganized and kind of just telling you anything on a wit's end. I'm not used to that. So for me to move back home, it was more of a relief. Houston is very big. I don't understand why everything is so slow as far as like the people doing the background checks, etc. Like it doesn't make any sense. But that's there, and I'm back home here. That's all I can say. When I got back here, I had already had jobs lined up. My background checks went fast. So currently I'm employed. Already employed. I already had got a couple jobs. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I would definitely not recommend moving to Houston unless you're already from the South. But then again, like I said, that's my opinion.